Okay. In the previous lecture, we have seen the factors affecting acoustics of a building, characteristic of musical sound, reverberation and reverberation time. And finally, we ended with the formula derived by a subband for calculating the reverberation time. So, we know what is reverberation time. It is a time taken for a sound to fall to 1/millionth of its original value just below before then the sources of cutoff. Subband, he derived an expression for a reverberation time. He basically had considered two assumptions. One is sound energy is uniformly distributed all over the room, and also absorption coefficient is independent of a sound energy. Just in order to derive an expression for it, he considered the situation which is given schematically here. AB is a wall on which we consider a small element, say ds, and with ds as center and with r and r plus dr as radius, we can draw two concentric circles, and this is a normal line drawn to which, and this is the radius r, and the distance between the two concentric circles is of distance dr, and the arc length, if this is d theta and this is r, theta into the perpendicular distance gives the arc length. Say it is of r plus dr, and the radial length is of dr here. So arc length into radial distance gives the volume of the area considered, and the distance travelled here is from the radial distance considered, from the portion considered in between r and r plus dr, and from to the normal we will draw the perpendicular line. If this is theta and this is r and this is a sin theta is equal to this portion divided by this. So this expression, from the expression of sin theta, we will get this value as r into sin theta. This is the distance travelled, and volume traced is the distance travelled into the volume travelled, gives the final expression for it. Volume traced is r square dr into sin theta, d theta and d phi, product of these two, and finally we multiply this and we arrive an expression for it. Then the sound energy is travelling through all the directions, and if you consider element ds, the energy travelling per unit solid angle we can calculate. See, this is a E be the sound energy density, and the element of volume traced is r square sin theta d theta dr into d phi, and per unit solid angle, we know what is a solid angle. In class 11 itself we derived an expression for it. So let us recollect what is a solid angle. So it is a 3D angle, we know. It is a 3D angle enclosed by a conical surface by the vertex of the cone. It is a total angle, it is a 3-dimensional total angle is of 4 pi. So per unit solid angle, this is the sound energy travelling through the given area ds, and per unit volume, per unit solid angle is it is a 4 pi. And by the definition of solid angle itself, we have arrived on expression. Say this is a solid angle subtended by a small portion, say ds. We are not deriving an expression here, just we are taken it from the concept of solid angle. It is of ds cos theta divided by r square. So this is per unit solid angle. This is a solid angle subtended by ds. So the energy travelling towards ds is the product of these two. So this is the expression. This is the expression. Here r square and r square get cancelled. So finally we have E ds divided by 4 pi into dr. We are separating the terms. Dr sin theta into cos theta into d theta, then into d phi. This is d phi. So we arrived an expression for this is the energy travelling towards a small element, say ds. Then to find out the energy reaching the ds per unit time, it is an expression consisting of r, theta and phi. Then we have to integrate this equation in terms of these three. If you want to integrate it, we have to fix a limit for it. Say r is the distance travelled towards ds. So or it is we are integrating it within the limit 0 to v. V is nothing but velocity of sound. Theta, if you are varying the theta from 0 to pi by 2, sound intensity varies. So here also it is ranging from 0 to pi by 2. And also phi. Phi is the area, phi is the theta value considered here when you are rotating this small element to this direction. It constitutes a 3-dimensional. So it varies from 0 to 2 pi. So with these limits, just we are integrating this equation. We are integrating this with respect to r, theta, phi. Then let us integrate this equation one by one. First we start integrating this equation with respect to pi. So the energy received at ds, we are integrating it with respect to pi, means other terms are considered as constant, and pi we are integrating it from 0 to 2 pi. So here d pi is integrated means pi, and substituting the upper limit minus lower limit, so it is of 2 pi. So here 4 pi and 2 pi get cancelled. So finally we arrive this expression. And next we are differentiating with respect to theta. So other terms you will keep it as constant, and we are integrating with respect to theta. And the limits we know it is ranging from 0 to pi by 2. And for simplification purpose, we are multiplying and dividing by 2. Here it is multiplied by 2. Here it is divided by 2. So this identity is a proven one. It is equivalent to 1. So final expression is E dot ds divided by 4 into dr. For dr we are integrating it within the limit 0 to b. So we are substituting upper limit minus integrating, and substituting upper and lower limit means E ds into v divided by 4. Again I repeat, E is the sound energy density, ds is the small element considered on the wall, and v is the velocity of light. Capital V is the volume, small v is the velocity. If A is considered as an absorbing coefficient for the small element considered, then we will make a product of it. Each and every element has its own absorption coefficient, that is of constant. So it is multiplied by A. So the total absorption is 1 by 4 EV into A into ds, the element considered, area of the element considered, and the absorption coefficient varies from material to material. So we can take it as a sum of A dot ds. This sum of A dot ds is considered as capital A. So EV into capital A divided by 4. So A is the total absorption of all surfaces in which the sound falls. A can be taken as a sum of this A1 ds1 plus A2 ds2. So number of elements to be considered. If you want, we can summarize it. So finally we arrived at an expression for the total absorption. And next we are going to calculate the sound energy in the room. That will proceed in the next lecture.